So, as far as treating gonorrhea, there are no vaccines currently recommended to treat it. That's still something researchers are working on. They're trying to find some sort of vaccine that will work with gonorrhea. However, people can currently get treatment using the antibiotic ceftriaxone, and it's typically given in combination with either azithromycin or doxycycline. They are both also antibiotics because gonorrhea usually occurs with chlamydia, and those two, azithromycin or doxycycline, will treat chlamydia. So the best way to prevent gonorrhea from happening in the first place, kind of similar with any other STD, is by remaining abstinent and not engaging in sexual activity until you're married and you have one partner. Basically, like living the law of chastity. But for those who do not prefer living that lifestyle, it's recommended to use protection during sexual activity and just to be careful. So I found this story on a blog. The author is Wendy Thomas, and I guess she spent some time as a clinical microbiologist. And so she related this story that deals with gonorrhea. I thought it was funny, so I wanted to include it in here. She said that she was testing a sample from a vaginal culture one day, and after gram staining the sample, it looked like it was gonorrhea to her. And so she went through a series of tests, and the last one she needed to do to confirm that it was gonorrhea was a smell test. If it had a certain smell to it, then she could tell that it was gonorrhea. So she brought the sample, the vaginal culture, up to her nose once, and she didn't smell anything. And then she brought it up to her nose a second time, still didn't smell anything. And she brought it up to her nose a third time. And what she didn't realize was that she was congested. She probably had a cold or something. So that particular day, she couldn't smell anything. So when she brought it up to her nose the third time, she brought it up a little too close, and her nose accidentally touched the gonorrhea sample. And so right away she washed it off and worried about the possibility of becoming infected with gonorrhea. In her blog it says, she also tried to think of how she would explain to the health department, who must be notified of every gonorrhea infection, how exactly it was that she managed to have a sexually transmitted disease up her nose. And then she said, fortunately she wasn't infected by the bacteria, but the story she was going to go with for everyone, including her mother, was immaculate infection. Luckily, she was not infected with gonorrhea, but the story continues to be told in her family, and she shares it with friends and things like that, and evidently in her blog. But that's not the end of the story. There's a little epilogue, I guess. So she has a son named Logan, and so one day Logan got the mom, Wendy, some little plush toys. They were gray, and they were meant to look like gonorrhea cells. And so they were kept in this little dish, and she thought it was cute and everything. And this kid was in 7th grade, so he asked his mom, the author, if he could bring it to class and show his teacher and his fellow students. She said sure, and she said, if you tell the teacher that it's gram negative, he'll probably give you extra credit. Well, turns out Logan shared much more than that. He told everyone that it was a reminder of the first time that his mom had gotten this an STD. So that's the story. There you have it.